Hi, this is Chris from Woodsman's Spirit channel. I just want to show you a brief video today of renovating a Finnish axe, and this particular model is the Billnas 7, which I'm sure some people are interested in. And what I'm not doing is replacing the haft, because the haft is actually in quite good shape. What I will be doing is showing you my way of fixing this back on so that hopefully it stays secure. As many of you will probably already know, the unique factor about this particular kind of axe and the Kelikoski Mariforce Brooks is the conical taper on the haft. And as such, this is contradictory to probably what most people know of axes either being parallel or in some cases the hole in the pawl is wider at the top than the bottom. So of course that suggests that these are much harder to hold in place. I put much more effort into, when I do make hafts for these, making sure that the surface comes into a very good contact with the axe head, because any gaps or irregularities tends to jeopardize the axe staying on securely. Many people also, as you can probably see here, drill a hole in the pawl and drive a nail or a screw in there. Frankly, I don't like that. I rather put more effort into fixing it on. So the method I've come up with today is a slight variation on the traditional way, or as what I understand the traditional way of securing the head. I mean, some of you may know that this kind of pyramidal wedge can be used to drive into the end of the haft on the Billnas Kelikoski kind of axe, but and the purpose of that is it spreads the fibres of the axe in all directions, which is quite important in these kind of axe heads, where there's a conical reduction towards the end of the axe. So what I do is I start by sanding, take the old axe head off and start by sanding or scraping here, and take a mixture of pine tar and turpentine to make it soak into the wood far better, and just rub that on there so it soaks in well. And the effect of this will be twofold. It will both stop moisture, any chance of moisture getting into the end of the haft and rotting it, but it will also provide some adhesion when I come to make a tight fit. Now, I get a tight fit from, this is not my theory, this is what I've heard, but it works for me, is I take some birch bark and I take it down into quite a thin, almost paper thickness, and what I do is I wrap it round the end of the haft. Unfortunately this is not a very big piece, so I'll try this piece, which is slightly larger. So I wrap this round, and hopefully when I begin to drive this on, it will not be too tight, but we'll see. If it is, I'll try and put some thinner bark on there. I mean, if it protrudes, then I can trim it with a knife. I'm just using a leather hammer here, because the danger is you're going to split your haft if you use a steel hammer. Now all that's done, it's actually driven it through. You can probably see there quite well. And now I'm going to insert my own rendition of wedging. What this is, I've cut an X-shaped slot in the end of the haft. On reflection, I would actually preferred to have done this, but it already had one cut in the haft, so I decided to do an X cut. But what I'm going to do is use two very slim wedges made out of I think it's oak or hemlock, something that's harder than the traditional birch haft anyway. So I'm going to drive the first one in with a leather hammer. Now it doesn't matter if it doesn't go fully home, because I'm going to trim that off. And the second thoughts, I don't think I will, because it's quite hard. What I'll do is I'm just going to make a slight nick in the first wedge in line with the second slot. The reason I'm doing that is it gives this wedge a start. But if I cut it in the right place, hang on. Yeah, so let's see how that goes now. I'm going to take the second wedge. I'm going to attempt to drive it in. I think it's lined up nicely. Yep, that's going in fine. So I'm going to take it in maybe halfway. And then I'm going to strike the bottom of the haft just to drive it in that little further, and drive that in as far as I can. I can already see that is actually spreading the end of the haft, and as you can see, the birch is overlapping the pole and the haft there, which I'll trim that off with a X-Acto razor knife or something, or this knife. There we go. What I'll probably do is I'll use the axe first to see how tight this is. If it's, just in case there's any movement, I won't drive those wedges in too far to start with. Also, I mean, it's a very dry environment where I live, so you know, the wood does shrink, subject to environmental changes, but yeah. And this wood is very, you know, the old haft is very dried out. I don't think this is original, but it's pretty much the original shape. Yeah, so I hope this video has been of some interest. I will be doing a series of videos on axe renovations. I mean, here I have a Billnas 1133, and this had a shorter laminated, more like a hatchet haft on it, but I just wanted to do something more like a bushcrafting axe, and I made this out of the best birch I could find, which isn't Arctic birch. It's probably some kind of Canadian birch, because I live in Canada. So I'll go into the intricacies of fixing the of both manufacturing a haft using a spoke shave and hatchet, and also the particular method I use for securing the pull, which is actually a different technique to what you would do on the Billnas and Kelakowski more older version of these axes. or a different fixing technique because the hole in the pole is different. And I hope that's been of some interest, and I shall be posting videos on a variety of subjects, including the development of rural property in the bush, moving trees, and kind of things to look out for in terms of where to build your house, so on and so forth. Probably also some videos on carbon steel knives, because that's my particular interest, and maybe some bushcraft skills. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye.